What's up? Waiting for everybody to get here. It's a shot of my catalog. BeatsByLonza.bandcamp.com. They'll have a podcast. Bar Ruiz. Work with Megan Trainor, Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar. R&B Bash, Richmond, Virginia. Zay Productions. You know what I'm talking about. We used to put them on for the city. Shay Wynn. Shout out the team. El Jefe, Guada, Heaven, King Jetta, Wugga, and Mo. Yes, sir. Heaven, eljefe.bandcamp.com. Check that. Heaven in the booth. Too Cold, produced by your boy, Beats by Lonza, DJ Zay Smooth. Shout out to El Jefe. The Mini Cooper, the biggest loser. Let's get it. Free talk. Hey. We're gonna get started in a little bit. Hey. Thank y'all for being here. All right. Just a quick preview of some of my catalog that I got out there. And again, thank y'all for rocking out with your boy. It's your man Beats by Lonza, DJ Zay Smooth. And today we have a special stream for you. And in this particular stream, we are here to talk about how to get your music out online where you can sell your music. Um, a little bit about me. So y'all saw my commercial, and in my commercial, Pretty much showed you some of my work, a lot of my placements that I got, and you'll see that a lot of it is there's a lot of content that I created in addition to putting the music out. There's a lot of videos that I created. There's a lot of everything that's behind the scenes, such as administrative stuff that will come with putting your music out in the masses. But I from time to time I get a lot of questions about how to get your music put out there. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to have a stream so that we can talk about some of the ways that you can get out there and put your music out to the masses. Now, before we get started, I just want to put a quick timeline out there for you. This is how to put your music out to the masses and to sell your music. And this will be in 15 minutes. Now, it takes a lot more time than 15 minutes to describe everything that it encompasses when you're trying to sell your music to the masses, when you have a product to give out to the masses. So but today we're talking 15 minutes quickly how to sell your music and some of the steps that you need to take. And so some of the things we're going to talk about that you may need to take notes on. You might need to get a sheet of paper, or you may want to keep this video on tap for a later watch. Some things we're going to talk about that you need to keep in mind that are very important. We're going to talk about ASCAP and BMI. Those are the two places that you can use to copyright your music. Copyright is very important because in the in the there may come a time where you may have to fight against other people with your music. So you always want to have your paperwork right. So I'm a big advocate of getting your paperwork right and having everything done the correct way. So when you register your music and have it copyrighted, then nobody can come on the outside after the fact and say, hey, this is not what we agreed upon. If you don't register and copyright your music correctly the first time. Now, when you're dealing with other artists and you're dealing with other producers and stuff like that, there are some other things that come into place, such as um, having all your paperwork filled out to where you have your split sheets, and so you all have came to agreement on this contract that these are the splits that you're going to have between each other. And those things also go into play when you're registering your music with your ASCAP and BMI. So those things will keep you legally in the green. Okay, another thing we're going to talk about is Bandcamp, DistroKid, Spotify, and Apple. And today's video and the stream, what I'm really going to advocate is to sell your music directly to your consumer. Skip the middleman, sell it directly to your customer who you're trying to get to first. Don't go through a third party to stream your music, because you'll get more bang for your buck if you are able to sell directly to your customer. That is pretty much my spiel that I'm giving to you today. Now, I am not gonna get on here and tell you not to use DistroKid or CD Baby or any of those other platforms out there to get your music to Spotify and Apple, because those places have their space in the environment, right? You'll need Spotify and Apple sometimes, because some companies may require for you to have a Spotify profile or Apple profile just to show legitimacy. So those will be opportunities where you'll have your music out on those platforms. But if you're looking for a better payout, your better payout is going to be Bandcamp. And let me give you a little example of what I do, right? So me specifically, I put my music that I want to sell to the consumer out to Bandcamp, and so that the consumer can get it directly from me from Bandcamp. And then I take the music after the fact, and if I want to share it with the world, to where I want to be able to show a catalog to consumers who will never buy the music and want to consume it for free, I'll put that on Spotify and Apple. And that's where DistroKid and CD Baby comes into play. Um, if you're new to my channel and you're just now seeing this, you can find me on all social medias. I'm everywhere under at BeatsByLonza. And if you'd like to sponsor my podcast, you can shoot me an email at beatsbylonza@gmail.com. And I am not against taking donations. So if you like to help a brother out, you want to Venmo me or Cash App me, my Venmo is on the screen and my Cash App is on the screen. All right, so back to the show at hand. All right, so there's a couple things I want to do to get set up. So what I want to do is take a 30-second commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll get started with the rest of the show. Alrighty then, so we are back. Beats by Lonze. If you don't know me by now, my name is Lonze, and I've been a music producer, engineer, and artist for well over 20 years. And my specialty, excuse me, has really been working with up and coming artists and mentoring, managing, and developing artists. And the reason that I did that is I really wanted to get them to their best and final form, but I wanted to get them brand new and get them into the ways of the music business. And then from once they got their feet wet, I would push them along further to other managers and other producers that would take them to the next level. As you've seen in my video, I've worked with a lot of artists, and like I said before, some of the artists have worked with some of the big names in the industry, such as Megan Trainor, Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar, just to name drop a few. And so yeah, I've been blessed to have found a lot of good artists in their beginning stages, and they are where they are today. And salute to all of those artists and producers and talented people, because they took a chance on me, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them taking a chance on me. I'd be remiss to not tell you that I have a bachelor's degree in business administration. I also have a master's degree in reverse logistics, which is all about getting products from A to B and from B back to A in case you are, you got to return something. So that's what my background is. I am a retired Marine, and I was a logistics Marine. So hence I have a reverse logistics degree, because that's my field of study and what I'm good at. But another thing that I'm really good at, not to toot my horn, but I'm good at this music shit. I'm good at this music. I'm good at this producing, and I really love to help other producers and artists, and that's what my YouTube channel is about. All right, so today's seminar, we're talking about getting your music online to sell as a beginner. Okay, so here's the overview, right? We're going to be talking about the digital music market, the importance of having an online presence, being an independent artist. And I'd like to give a brief introduction to different online platforms, because you'll be needing those, such as the social media, IG, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. And before we get any further, I want you to know that you will have to create content to sell your products to the masses. But that is later on when we talk about engaging with your audience. All right, so back to the setup. Okay, so first thing I need you to know that you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to set up an online presence. And what I mean by setting up an online presence, that means that you're going to have to create a professional artist profile. So whether you're using IG, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube, you need a professional artist profile. So if you haven't set up any of those things, That is the first thing you need to do. You need to be setting up your profiles so that when people come to your platform, that they know that you are about your business and your business is actually your business. All right. So when you're choosing your platform, that's going to be based on what your requirements are. If you're trying to sell straight to the consumer, if you're offering your music to the masses, like I said earlier with Spotify and Apple Music, and if you're selling straight to your customer, that's going to be Bandcamp. All right. So for producers out there, there's a lot of different online platforms that you can use to sell your music. I know for one, there's BeatStars, and BeatStars charges you a fee monthly to upload your music to their platform, and then you're able to sell your beats to the customer from BeatStars. Another way around that, without using BeatStars, is to have your own website. Now, I have my own website. That's beatsbylonza.com. And on my website, I sell my merch. I sell my beats. I sell, you can listen to the podcast because we have the Grind 329 by Lonze podcast. So you can listen to the podcast there, as well as you can also check out merch. And a lot of my branding and my imagery is on my website. But what I've done is that I've established an online presence to where all of my social media looks almost kind of like similar and the same, but you'll understand that it's a business when you go to my social media. So when you look at my social media and you look at my website, you will see that my branding and my image is consistent across all platforms. All right, so we talked about creating a professional artist profile. So now we want to talk about uploading your music. All right, so preparing your music for upload is going to be the second thing that you're going to have to do. And what I mean when I say preparing your music for upload, there is a such thing as a file format that dictates the quality, and it also has metadata in it. And specifically, the two types we're going to talk about today is going to be WAV files and MP3 files. Now, when you're uploading on majority of these sites, they're going to ask for you to have WAV files and an MP3. And if you are selling exclusive, you're sometimes you may have to upload your stems to those websites. Now, I have a love and hate relationship with stems, and let me tell you why. As a producer, giving artists my stems when they don't buy exclusively allows another producer or an artist to be able to steal your metadata and your sounds and be able to replicate and duplicate your work. Now, if that artist was just buying your stems to take them to a studio to get them mastered, that would be a different story. But you never know how the actual person on the other end is going to use your information. So up giving them stems could be a little bit tricky. But this is where, when we talked about earlier in the stream, we talked about having your music and having your information copyrighted. Now, ASCAP BMI. I highly suggest that you sign up for ASCAP and BMI if you haven't done that. And what you will do is, when you're preparing your music for upload and you get your music uploaded to the sites, in in tandem with that, you will go to ASCAP or BMI and register your music as you being the owner of that music. So in the instance that somebody does steal your music, you have it copyrighted and registered under ASCAP and BMI. And so when you do have to go to court and have to get a lawyer and sue somebody, you have that documentation to show that that music does belong to you. All right. The next thing that I'll tell you that you will need a good computer, a tablet, or iPad, or maybe all three, because you're going to need those three things to upload your music to your online platform that you're trying to upload it to. So you need a good computer, and I'd also advise you to have an external hard drive where you're able to store your data and keep it there on your hard drive so that it doesn't run up your storage on your computer, your tablet, or your iPad. So that is an advisement that I'll tell you that you will need to have those things, and it's a good rule of thumb to probably have all three of those things, because in the event that you can't get to a computer or get to your computer, if you have your phone or you have your tablet and you have, you're on the Apple um, ecosystem, you're able to go through your iCloud and access your documents on your computer when you're not at home. So that is a great component to have. All right, so here's the next thing in the steps that I'll tell you about selling your content online. All right, so you're going to be uploading your music to major platforms. So you need to understand the pricing. You need to understand marketing your music, and that will come up in the next class. But really, you need to know the basics of social media marketing for musicians. So this is going to take you to do some homework. It's going to take you to spend some time learning about the music industry, and in this in this work that you're going to have to do, you're going to have to create and schedule content to promote your releases. You're going to have emails, marketing, email lists, branding lists. You're going to also collaborate and partner with other artists and producers, and partner with promotional companies to help promote you and your business. The next thing we'll talk about in the next class will be monetizing your music, understanding royalties and how they work. So far we've talked about a couple things. Let's get back to what I told you that we would be talking about specific. All right, ASCAP and BMI. So we've talked about ASCAP and BMI and how to get that started. And right now I'm going to walk you through the process of how it is to upload your information to ASCAP and BMI. All right, so check it out. I'm going to share my screen with you really quick. All right, gonna share my screen, window. All right, so sharing my screen with you right now, and we're gonna talk about ASCAP. All right, so I'm already in my ASCAP account, and as you can see, I have 224 works, and that's growing every day. There's a lot of works out there that is coming up in the next couple drops that I'm gonna drop, and those numbers will they will go up highly. But let me show you a little bit what I like about ASCAP. In the ASCAP dashboard, it has all of my information. Then it has yearly how much money I've made on my music being out, with the royalties. And you can see right here for 2024 in the first half, I've made 14 cents for the first half. And I'll tell you the most that I've ever made for ASCAP for music being on the platform has been about $10, and that's with 250,000 streams going out across the parallels. So unless you're gonna be a Drake and you're going to be one of those artists that hit viral where you have millions and millions of streams, it's going to be very, very hard for you to make money on the streaming platforms. Now, let me tell you how that changes. Now, when you are able to sync your music to TV and movies, now we're talking about where your money will go up. But that'll be another stream. I won't talk about that today, but we're talking about ASCAP BMI. So let me show you how easy it is for me specifically for ASCAP when I go in here. So if I had a song that I wanted to register on my ASCAP, right? And it's gonna ask me to put in this code because I had this second party authentication. If you don't stay logged in for long, it will kick you out. So let's say, for instance, we played some music in this stream, right? And so we wanted to add the song title to this stream. So we'll put sell your music stream. And the song that I played in here was called, let's see, Toss It 22. So I'm gonna put Toss It 22. All right. And then it's gonna already have my information in it. I know I'm the composer and author. It has the drop down where it has whether you're a composer, the author, the arranger, adapter, translator, or a composer and author. So we're gonna go with composer because I am composer and author because I'm the composer and the author of the music. And the share is gonna be writer share is gonna be 50%, and the publishing share is gonna be 50%, which will add to be 100%. And then it'll ask you, has this work been recorded? No. Has this work been performed? No. Is this work intended for commercial film or the other product? If we were going to put this on a TV show or a movie, then this is where you check yes, and then it'll ask you more information about how that's going to work. Concert work. Does this work include a sample, public domain elements, and do you know the performance time of this work? So you'll have to know all those information when you start to upload your song to registration. But anyway, if all that information was no, then it is simple as putting your writing information in there and clicking submit. And then you see that sell your music stream, Toss It 22 has been registered. My work ID number is right there. And then in 10 days, it'll appear in the ACE repertory, which is where BMI and all those other places can also see your work, and then they can track it online. Now, if you had another piece of work that was similar to the Toss It, like let's say we had multiple songs and it all was the same information and nothing changed, you can click on duplicate this work, and it would duplicate this work, and then you just change the name of it, and then you save it. And then if by chance you had to change information, such as you had other artists, then you would just register a new work. So that's how ASCAP works. Now, we're going to go to Bandcamp. I told you that we want to sell directly to the consumer. So Bandcamp is easy. When you go to the beginning site and you go in to set up an account, it's just like registering. I won't walk through the registering process, but this is what your site will look like when you are going to add album or track. You can sell merch from here. You can actually sell a live stream ticket, and you can also have listening party from Bandcamp. So today we're gonna say that we're gonna sell a track. All right, and so we're gonna do Toss It 22. We're gonna sell it for $1, and we're gonna upload a track art. I wonder if I have a track art that will fit. Let's see if I got some track art that will fit. So I'm gonna use one of my old beat tapes as the cover, and I probably will add this song later on to that cover, just so that people won't get confused. But anyway, Toss It 22. I added a cover, and then I'm gonna add the audio. So now here's the second thing about Bandcamp. Okay, so this Toss It 22 has to be a WAV file. So earlier when I was here, I had to go into let's see. I had to go into one of my files and convert it to a WAV file. So let's see. don't see it. All right, so what I'll do is I'll go to really quickly since we're here and we have it. We'll go to iTunes and we'll go to current song, and then we will go to convert. We'll convert it to WAV file. And we'll go to the very beginning right here at the top where it says toss it is right there. And then I'm going to take it and drag it to my desktop. So now that is there. And you probably can't see what I'm doing on the screen because I'm not sharing that portion of my screen. But um, so what I did is I just took this song and I took it in iTunes and converted it to a WAV file. So now we are loading the WAV file to Bandcamp. And about this track, I'm gonna say produced by BeatsByLonza. Track credits is Beats by Lonze 2024. I'll just fix some of those grammar. And then you also can put in a release date. You can also put in an ISRC code to track it, to track your sales. All that is here on Bandcamp. And so that is processing. So we'll let that process. And once it processes, it'll give you a green check mark to say that it's done. And we're gonna click on Save Draft. Now we can view the draft to see what it looks like. So on this particular song, I have no streaming on it because I want the actual people to buy the song without streaming it. Actually, I take the back. Let's do this. Let's add streaming to this song. Let's enable streaming. So now that the person that wants to um, buy the song, they'll be able to listen to it first. So now we're going to publish it. And now that song is published. And now it is in my, it is on my site right there. Toss it 22. And if I click on it and play it, alrighty. So that's that. So we have shown you two portions of putting your music online and how you'll be able to do that using ASCAP and BMI to register and copyright your songs. Then you also have Bandcamp and DistroKid that you'll be able to use to sell your music straight to the consumer, or you can put it out there for streaming sites on Spotify and Apple. And if you use DistroKid, you are not limited to just Spotify and Apple. You'll be out there for all the streaming DSPs to sell your music out there. So let's go to the comments real quick. Like, what's good, everybody? I appreciate everybody that's here on the stream. I'll be doing these webinars, and they'll be exclusive. So I'll be dropping gems um, exclusively so that people will be able to, invest in their business and invest in themselves and invest in me. So shout out to my cuz Kaleido K. Appreciate you being here in the building. Blatantly Blatant Network. I appreciate you, my guy, for being here. Beats in Bed. What's up? What's up? What's up? And the Upright Man JB is in the building. Tony Anthems. I appreciate you being on our last live. that we had. I really appreciate it. You did a good job showcasing your talent and your music, and hopefully some people have jumped in to see what you got going on. So again, thank you, Tony Anthems, for being here. Upright Man JB, I appreciate you. Beats in Bed, I really thank you for being here. It's an honor and a privilege. And Blatantly Blatant, man, you've been turning up on the online. I see you. I see you. I see you. And so, all right. So back to the. Let's get to the closing of this. All right. So I talked about having a good computer, tablet, and an iPad because you'll need that to upload your music online. So let's make sure that I haven't left out anything in this class. So again, next class we're going to talk about marketing your music, monetizing your music, engaging with your audience. Because when you engage with your audience, like we're doing right now, you're building a fan base and you're trying to maintain relationships. So this is going to be important to you because later on down the line, you may have live performances and you may have online events such as the stream that we're doing today. So that will help you with your analytics and help you to grow your audience. So if you all have any questions, I have an open discussion for this live right now. I have an opportunity for y'all to ask any questions. If you have any additional resources that you'd like to point out to give the people, but this is just a wave tops introduction of how to get your music out there to sell online. Now I will tell you, you got some homework to do. So the first thing you need to do is set up your music profiles. And then if you have music that you're ready to upload, you need to get that music ready to be uploaded to the DSPs and to your sites. All right. So there's a lot of other resources that you can use for further learning. I won't tell you what those are. That's going to be your homework to go find out what those other resources are. But there's a ton of resources, and you're looking at one of the resources right now on YouTube, so you're able to find out how to do those things. So now that we got those administrative things out of the way, and we talked about Bandcamp, and we talked about setting up an account, we talked about ASCAP, setting up an account, and we've talked about uploading your content. Now let me give you a couple gems. All right, there's a couple apps that I use on my iPhone that are clutch. That, like today, you just saw that I had a MP3 file that I needed to convert to a WAV file, and instead of taking the 3 minutes it took me to use iTunes, I use an app called the MP3 Converter. I want to say it's $4.99 in the App Store on Apple. And the MP3 converter is so freaking fast. I'm talking about 2 seconds fast. And all you have to do is browse where that directory is on your phone, or where that MP3 is, or whatever it is. Find the file, you click it, and then you tell it what you want to convert to. And with one click, you're able to convert your file from MP3 to WAV. And then you're able to share it over the airdrop, or you're able to email it to yourself or whatever to get that MP3 file to the WAV file, because you'll need that in a lot of these platforms. Now, the other tip that I'll give you, and I hate to tell people about this, but I'm going to tell you, there's an app called Video Shop. Video Shop is so clutch. You're able to take in your videos and edit your videos for all the platforms, so that you can have your YouTube videos, you can have your Twitch videos, and it has the actual conversion sizes to take your videos to put them for that particular size platform that you're using. So Video Shop, I do pay an annual subscription for Video Shop, but it's worth it. Don't get me the line how much it is. I think it's $50 a year, but it's worth the $50 a year. So again, apps that I use are MP3 Converter and Video Shop. There's a lot of other apps I use, but those are the two that I'll give you in this stream today. So homework for you, BMI ASCAP. Make sure you register your music. Even if you're a producer, register your freaking beats. If you're going to send your beats out to people, register your beats. because if by any chance your beat gets stolen, the old man copyright may work. If y'all know what the old man copyright is, where you email it to yourself, that may work in the court of law. But the easiest thing to do is have it registered under ASCAP BNI. It'll be much safer, and it's there for 100 years. So before you probably will be gone by the time your copyright dies out. Because if you do live another 100 years, you need to tell us what the secret is. I don't want to live to be another 100 years. Um, that is just old. 140 some years old. That's so old. All right, so I think we gotten through everything that I need to tell you about. Oh no, we didn't. Here's another gem I want to tell you. All right, how much do you want to invest in yourself? How much do you want to invest in your business? How much do you want to invest in your company? When you answer those three questions, that will tell you how much you want to invest in yourself. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. Invest in your business, invest in yourself, invest in your company. Now, I will tell you, make your company an LLC, because building your company and building your brand is going to cost you some bread. It's going to cost you some money, and you're going to have to invest in yourself to pay for these apps, pay for these computers, pay for these tablets, pay for the iPads, pay for all the things that it takes to make music. And if you're a producer like me and you see you got to have a studio and you got to have electricity and light bills and water bills and all of that, phone bill to call your customers, you got to pay for equipment, you got to invest in yourself. So the best thing I'll tell you is to make your company an LLC and be serious about your business. So how much do you want to invest in your business? How much you want to invest in yourself, and how much you want to invest in your company? Cuz check it, let me tell you. There's a lot of artists out there that just want to do music, and that's fine and good if you just want to make music. And what I'll say about that is that if you just want to drop music, it will bite you in the end. It will bite you in the rear end later on down the road. And let me tell you why I say that. Because eventually you'll want to get your bread back that you invested. And if you just one of those that just want to make music and drop music, and you don't invest in those other things that we talked about previously and earlier, then it's just going to make it harder for you later on down the road when you try to go back and recoup after the fact. So you want to make sure that what you're doing right now takes care of you and yourself and your family right now. And it makes sure that later on down the road, generational wealth for your family, they're able to take care of themselves with the money that you invested into your business. All right. So, I think that is the last thing that I wanted to say to you all on this, supposed to be teaching you in 15 minutes. Um, so let's get to some of these questions in the chat. Beats and Bed said DistroKid is the GOAT. Man, it really is. I used to when I first started doing music, I used CD Baby, and CD Baby was cool, but it I was introduced to DistroKid a little bit later on, and DistroKid is really, like you said, the GOAT. It has everything that you need, and it doesn't take a lot of work to get your music uploaded, and then you can send it to over 100 freaking sites: Amazon Music, YouTube Music, all of those, without having to like lift much of a finger. Beats in bed, showing our age. Yeah, mailing that disc back to your address. Yes, sir. Mailing the disc back to your address and freaking emailing it to yourself. That's the old man copyright. So yeah. Beats in bed says register all those beats with your publishing company. It's another great tip right there, is that you should have your own publishing company so that you can collect your own publishing. Um, Tony Anthem said 70 years after death, so your following generations can eat off your intellectual property before it goes to public domains. The Upright Man said hit a brother up. Um, Beats in Bed says Lonze isn't lying. I went through hell because my publishing wasn't correct. And Upright Man JB said, I have been trying to link up. I don't know if he's talking to me or if he's been talking to, if he's talking to somebody else in the freaking in the chat. If you're talking to me, say I'm talking to you, because I don't know who you're talking to. Upright Man JB. And but anyway, oh me, he's been talking to me. Shit. All right, my bad. Out there, let's see. Shoot me an email at beatsbylonza@gmail.com. And then I'll shoot you my phone number and we can talk from there. Beatsbylonza@gmail.com. So, alrighty. So I think I answered as much of the questions that I can on this live. Um, I will tell you all that I have some merch that I just dropped. I just actually dropped another merch last night. And this merch that I dropped last night, I'm probably going to have to redo it because I don't think that it. Let me show you real quick. The merch that I dropped last night, I dropped a new hat. It is a snapback. It is the Drum Machine Specialist snapback. And I just dropped that last night. And I wish that I had one that I can show you the quality of it, but hopefully the screen can do justice to show you what the Drum Machine Specialist hat looks like. But it is quality. It's the Yupong 6089. If you're familiar with that, it is a thick freaking woven cloth quality for the snapbacks. And then we got the Beats by Lonze pullover hoodies. We got the Beats by Lonze mugs. I support the Beats by Lonze t-shirts, pullover hoodies, classic crew neck hoodies. We also have the dog chains for my fellow military guys out there. Shout out to all my Marines, Semper Fi. Again, I'm a prior service Marine, so I always got to show out and support my Marines. And the NPC Guru hoodies, we have those out there. The die cut stickers of the NPC Guru Drum Machine Specialist, which is me and my collective out there. We're all drum machine specialists, and we have two of the drum machine specialists categories. We have the FL Studio Drum Machine Specialist, and then we have the Kai NPC Drum Machine Specialist. And so you can order either one of those depending on which one you are. If you a diehard FL Studio guy, then you can get the FL Studio Drum Machine Specialist. And then if you're a diehard Akai MPC guy, then you can get the MPC one. And if you're just a regular drum machine specialist where no machine can stop you and no machine stands in your way, then you'll go with the regular drum machine specialist supporting your man Beats by Lonze right there. And then last but not least, the Get to Work MPC Guru line is there. We got t-shirts, we got the t-shirt dress, we have the pullover hoodie as well, and then we also got the stickers. So that is that for the merch that I got. And let's see if we got any more other questions before we get out of here. Tony Anthem said DistroKid pay some bills for sure. Now let me drop one last gem in this live that we're having, because I'm gonna go an hour. I'm gonna make sure that we end up with an hour. So we'll take the next 6 minutes just to chop it up and talk. But one last gem I want to tell you before we get out of here, and I kind of also almost forgot what it was I was gonna tell you. Um, this this road that we're on, it takes a lot of work, and to if you're not built to do the work, then it's going to frustrate you and it's going to be a hindrance to you. So I want you to know ahead of time that this is going to take some work. Registering for those, the easy part is getting started. So that's why we talked about the administrative part of it, of getting yourself started online, registering yourself, getting on the social media platforms, because that's the way of the future right now. The way of the future is promoting yourself on these social media platforms, getting in front of the camera. I know a lot of us are, some of us are introverts, some of us are extroverts that don't mind getting in front of the camera and talking to people and stepping in rooms. But it's going to require you to get in front of the camera. It's going to require you to get uneasy and uncomfortable with yourself. And once you get out of that realm of being uncomfortable with yourself, it'll become second nature to you that you are doing what you need to do. Right? So again, like I said earlier, how much do you want to invest in yourself? How much do you want to invest in your business? How much do you want to invest in your company? Now that brought me back to my point that I wanted to tell you. It's going to require you to have multiple streams of income. So we're talking about selling your beats online. We're talking about selling merch. We're talking about having PDFs where you're selling courses. If you're good at something where you may have information that is good for the masses, you may want to sell courses. Those things are out there. You may not be good at selling courses, but you may be good at making things with your hands, such as building, you know, um, making candles or whatever it is that you're good at. It may take you to figure out the other things that you're good at as well, to have these multiple, I call them fingers, because the fingers are able to reach out and touch. So you're going to want to reach out and touch every avenue and possibility of money that you can get to make sure that you're able to invest in yourself. So that's what we're talking about really at the end of the day, is investing in yourself, working hard, and how bad do you really want it? That's the question that you got to ask yourself at the end of the day. How much do you really want it? And at the end of the day, if this is just going to be a hobby for you, then keep it a hobby, and then everything that we just discussed is void and none and not valid to you. So with that being said, couple last things I want to tell you again. Venmo, Cash App, you can donate to my channel. That'll help me tremendously to keep bringing content to you. You can follow me on all social media platforms at BeatsByLonza. I'm everywhere at BeatsByLonza. If you Google me, I'm on the first 6, 7 pages of Google, and you can see everything that I've done out there under the Google platform. And if you want to sponsor a live, or you want to sponsor the podcast, you can email me at beatsbylonza@gmail.com to talk to me about it. This live is sponsored by DMV Prime Rides. It is an exclusive traveling company where you can, transportation company where you can be picked up for, it's almost like Uber, but it's an exclusive traveling company, transportation company, and it is serving the DMV area, that is Maryland, DC, and Virginia. So if you are in that area and you need to be picked up to go from A to B, and you want to do it in stride and you want to do it in luxury, you want to check out dmvprimerides.com. And that is my channel is sponsored by DMV Prime Rides. And so again, we talked about registering your information on ASCAP and BMI so that you can be copyrighted. We talked about submitting your music on Bandcamp, because Bandcamp is going to take your music and it's going to get you right to the consumer. And we also talked about using DistroKid as the actual vehicle to get your music to all the DSPs and streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, Apple Music. I just said Apple Music, but all the DSPs is out there, Reezer, everywhere that you can consume music, DistroKid can get your music out there. So, with that being said, we have hit an hour. Thank you all for being here, and y'all sign up for the next online webinar that we're gonna have. And I'll try to do it sometime in a better part of the day where people are getting off work and they can kind of attend. So, with that being said, we are out of here. Thank you for everybody that has attended this live, that made comments in the freaking comment section, and that come to all the lives. I really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you.